Good evening, Otherworldlies. This is Queen Juliana, your Dark Mask Diva. Well, I went away for vacation and enjoyed it very much. When I came home, there was a heat wave, so that kept me from making content for a while. It was really just super uncomfortable, and then I wasn't feeling well for a while, so please forgive me for not uploading. I did not keep to my schedule, so I'm sorry for those of you who were waiting for videos. People asked me to make them every few days, so I didn't for about a week and a half. So I apologize for those of you who are used to making me making them every 4 days, which is what I try to do. So I apologize for that. But without further ado, tonight's topic is something that makes a lot of people uncomfortable, but it's trending. And also people are asking me to do more narcissist content. So tonight I'm going to talk about partners who are on the DL. Okay? If you don't know what that is, that's double life or down low. Okay? That's when your partner of the opposite sex is stepping out on you. You don't know it, but they are getting together physically with a partner. They're cheating on you, okay? They're cheating on you with a partner of the same sex, and you don't know about it, or maybe you suspect, okay? So I want to talk about the nature of that, okay? So before I get into it, I would like to come out and say there's nothing wrong with being gay. There's nothing wrong with being bisexual. You can be in a relationship with somebody who's bisexual, and that does not mean that person is going to cheat on you with somebody of the different sex than you are, okay? You can be in a monogamous relationship with somebody who's bisexual. And there's a lot of misinformation and a lot of prejudice against bisexual people, but they can absolutely be monogamous, okay? Unless you have some situation in your relationship where you don't want that, okay? That's up to you. But bisexual people can be monogamous. What I'm talking about are people who cannot be honest with you, and they cannot be honest with themselves. Okay, and what they're fundamentally doing is they're using the partner that they're supposedly committed to, whether it be their committed relationship or their marriage, and they're also using the people they hook up with, okay? Because the people they hook up with either know it, but usually don't know it, that the person that they're hooking up with is actually married to somebody of the opposite sex, or in some kind of committed relationship with someone of the opposite sex. Okay, here's the thing with down low people, okay? Down low is something that is present in every culture. Every race has down low. Every culture has down low, okay? So you can't point the finger and say, this race of people has all the down lows, or this culture has more down lows than this culture. No, everybody has down lows. So you can't say that it's more of a problem in this culture rather than that other culture. Point the finger, say this is a problem with these people. No, everybody has down lows. The only thing that's going to stop down low is if we stop putting up with it, if we stop turning a blind eye to it, and if the world becomes more tolerant to homosexuality, all right? Because what needs to happen is people need to be able to be openly gay, all right? And we need to stop with the shame. You guys know how I feel about shame, right? We need to do away with it. We need to stop being ashamed of being gay, all right? These people who are on the down low, they are in some kind of way unable to live their authentic selves, okay? They are unable to be openly gay for whatever reason, okay? They feel like they will be judged, or they can't accept themselves being gay, all right? Or they feel like they want the best of both worlds. They feel like their opposite sex partner will do certain things for them that a same-sex partner wouldn't. And they only want to be with the same-sex partner for sexual activity, but they want the opposite sex partner for the domestic experience. So they're not really giving either partner the fair share of the experience of being with them. They just fundamentally cannot be honest with themselves or anybody else. Okay, and there is something within them where they do not accept themselves. They don't accept their own sexuality. So what needs to happen is more education about being gay. There needs to be more acceptance just in general in every single culture about being gay, about being bi, and about every aspect of the rainbow community. All right, and we need to not turn a blind eye when you see certain signs of that the fact that your partner might be DL. You need to stop trying to control your partner when you think they're DL. All right, no amount of controlling, no amount of running interference, no amount of policing them is going to help. People, when they want to cheat, will do it. They will find a way. When there's a will, there's a way. When people want to do something with their lives, when they feel drawn to do something that they feel either entitled to do or it's just their nature, they are going to do it. Okay? Anybody who's inclined to cheat, all right, if they feel like they're entitled to do it or their self-esteem is low enough, they are absolutely going to do it. Okay, and most people who are cheaters will sit around all day and justify the reasons they are need to cheat. They are a lot like people who have a problem with substance abuse. They will sit around all day and justify the reasons they need to do it to chalk themselves into doing it. Okay, it's just they will justify any reason to tell themselves to do it so their conscience can give them a pass. All right, so the last thing they're thinking is, this is so unfair to my partner. They will turn you into the bad guy so they can do it. Okay, or they will just say, you know, so and so can't give me what I need to do this with my preference. Okay, you are not their preference. You are that person who either cooks and cleans or brings home the paycheck or whatever it happens to be that you do. You are the other parent to the kids. That's usually the reason why these down low people get married to somebody of the opposite sex, is because you can make a child together. A lot of these people want to be a parent. A lot of these people want to make a legacy. They can't with a same-sex partner. They don't want to adopt. They want to have a nuclear family that looks like a traditional nuclear family and be able to biologically make a child. That's what I've heard the most. Okay, and they want to make their family happy. They can't just come out and admit to their family that they're gay or that they're bi or whatever that they are. And they're willing to completely live a false identity to do that. And some people go their whole lives without their spouse suspecting a thing. I mean, and it's a lot of the times because their spouse simply turns a blind eye to it and says, well, they're a good spouse in every other way. Well, they're actually not. And I'm going to tell you different things that down low people do, because down low people are a form of a narcissist. Okay? And I know what you're thinking. She's finally going to talk about narcissism again. Yes, I have gone a long time without talking about narcissists, and you're like, this is a narcissist channel. It's about time you started talking about them again. I know I'm talking about bozos and dusties and all these other bad people. I haven't talked about a narcissist in a while. Well, that's because down low people are a type of narcissist. Okay, so while they may not come out and verbally triangulate, they are still triangulating. Okay, and down lows are the type who are, they are chronic cheaters. Okay, and I know what a lot of people will assert, that all men are chronic cheaters. Okay, you can't convince me that all men are chronic cheaters. I simply don't believe that. I think men are tempted to cheat all the time because men constantly fantasize and men crave variety. So yeah, I think men are tempted to cheat all the time. That doesn't mean they're always cheating. And I don't think all men cheat. I think some guys simply have more of a level of self-control more than other guys. And I don't think every man is a narcissist either. So, I think guys who are narcissists and chronic cheaters insist that all men are constantly cheating. Okay? Here's another thing. Not all men are addicted to corn. Okay? Some men don't even look at it. They don't even let themselves get any kind of addiction. They get enough of a thrill seeing some pretty lady at work or something like that, and that's and maybe their minds wander a little bit, and that's as far as it goes. So that's another thing. I can't buy that lie that that all men are addicted to corn. I simply don't believe that. Most households, where I come from is California in the USA. Most households are 50-50 because unless you make a whole lot of money, and I mean a whole lot of money, you can't survive out here without two incomes. Okay, the cost of living here is really high. If you want to live anywhere decent, the cost of living here is really high. If you want any kind of life, everything out here is incredibly expensive, okay, and it requires two incomes. I could not believe that women will bring money into the house and put up with chronic cheating, a corn addiction, and guys that are narcissists and on the down low, and they know about it, and will bring money into the house. I have an adult, fully functioning, working brain. I just don't believe that many women are going to put up with that, and not just go find another female friend to be a roommate with. I simply don't believe that many women are going to put up with it. So let me tell you certain things that guys on the DL do, in case you don't know what to look for, okay? And these things will probably surprise you. All right, so there's two different kinds of DL guys. One kind of DL guy, okay, like a feminine DL guy, okay? They're both feminine, okay? But I'm trying to explain this. One kind of guy will get with a baddie, okay? He'll find a really gorgeous, like drop-dead gorgeous woman, like a 10, all right? And then he'll parade her around, okay? He'll find a woman who's in the gym every day, who looks like a 10. She's just a straight-up baddie, like an IG baddie. Like, she's just all that, okay? And parade her around, take her out all the time, parade her around, real proud of her, show her off all the time. Okay, the reason he's doing that is because he wants male attention. He knows if the guys are looking at her, they're also looking at him, okay? And, some of those guys are going to be bi, okay? Some of those guys are going to be giving him some of the attention too, okay? Because pretty women, everybody looks at pretty women. Little kids look at pretty women. Other women look at pretty women. Men definitely look at pretty women. Men look at ugly women. So men are looking at pretty women, right? So he knows he's gonna get all that leftover attention. All right. So gay guys look at pretty women. So they're gonna look at her and then they're gonna look at him. All right. So trust me, gay guys come up to me all the time. They're like, I love what you're doing. Okay, so gay guys, I get a lot of attention from gay guys. Okay, they have no interest in sleeping with me. They just come up. They tell me they love my makeup. They love what I'm doing. And they want to be friends. And they're just like, oh, I love your style. And they come up and give me a lot of attention. Okay, so I would attract that kind of down low guy. Okay, because gay guys come up to me all the time. All right. Now, that's kind of the lesser of the down low guys. I'm going to talk to you about the more common down low guy, the one you really, really have to worry about. Okay. All right. This guy, and this goes for dusties. Okay. This goes for bozos, and this goes for the more common down low guy. This guy will try to get you in your masculine energy. Now, you could be a glamour girl, but you might have some really masculine energy. Like you maybe take charge, you may earn a lot of money, you may just have a masculine personality. So you may not look masculine, but you may have a masculine personality. Excuse me. You may just have a lot of BDE. Okay, you may just look so feminine, but you might just have just this masculine presence about you. Maybe you were a firstborn, or you have a lot of masculine hobbies, or you're very aggressive by nature. Okay, so he's attracted to you because of that, because he's feminine. All right, he's the down low that's like a bottom. Okay, I don't know what I can say on here that's not going to get me in trouble, but he's a down low who's a bottom. So he wants you to be aggressive. All right, so he's attracted to your masculine energy. All right, but here's the more common situation with these down lows and these dusties. All right, they're going to try to slowly, say like you're just a regular woman who does your hair and wears makeup to work and wears a dress and does all this stuff. They're going to slowly try to strip you of your femininity. All right, they're going to slowly say stuff like, babe, I really think you should cut your hair short. You don't need your hair long anymore. I think you look better without makeup. Do you really need to wear dresses? Is it really necessary? They're going to slowly try to get you to stop being feminine. Okay, they're going to try to get you to dress down. Why do you have to look so fancy all the time? Who are you trying to impress? They're going to try to get you to wear pants. They're going to try to, and I mean not sexy pants. They're going to try to get you to look really like unisex. They're going to try to almost make you look like a stud. You know what I mean by a stud? Like, right? Kind of make you look like a masked lesbian. Okay? No offense to my masked lesbian friends out there, but they're going to try to make you look like that, okay? They're also, and I'm going to talk about stuff that's happened to me before with dusties. Okay, and they could have even been on the down low. I don't know, because I got away from them, because to me those were red flags. They're going to get mad at you for wanting to look like a girl, okay? Obviously, I like looking like a girl. Long hair, makeup, wear dress all the time, like earrings. I'm all about it, okay? So they would get mad at me. These dusties and possible down lows would get mad because I was always feminine, right? And, wouldn't pay for things, because obviously I don't believe in that. They would get mad. And this is what they do, because they know if they do anything outwardly abusive, they know I'm gone, because it's obvious, they're doing something bad. They know that's, I see a red flag and I go. Okay, these guys are in their feminine energy, so they'll do things that are catty and feminine. Remember, they want to be females, okay? They want to be women, so they will do catty things. What they do is they do dark things. They will start gossiping about you to other people and say things about you that are not true. All right, they will try to paint a bad picture about you to other people and to try to sabotage your relationship. Yes, they will gossip about you because they have a very feminine nature. They know if they try to hit you, or they try to argue with you, or they try to do anything like that, that is way too obvious. They know you're not going to put up with it because they see the strength in you. So they gossip about you behind your back. Okay, so I had somebody do that to me, and later on it occurred to me, like, is this guy actually gay? Because he did feminine things to try to undermine me. He was definitely dusty. Okay, but that was a very feminine thing to do. But I found out later he had a drug problem. So that sometimes goes together. So maybe he was being gay for pay. Okay, so that's on a whole nother level, and I'm not saying that's why people are on the down low, but that could happen. Okay, let's just put that out there. This is an adult channel. This is not for children. Okay, they will do things like that, but this is what happens when you get with somebody who's on the DL, who's a dusty. They try to get you to stop being feminine. They try to get you to stop wearing makeup. It's all, who are you trying to impress? Why are you wearing a dress? Dresses are only for dates. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Remember that guy who made the girl carry your own shoes? They get down like that, okay? And they slowly, because they want you to be masculine. They're attracted to somebody masculine. They don't want you. They're in competition. They want to be the girl in the relationship. They don't want you to look like a girl. That turns them off. They're attracted to men. They want you to look like another guy. They're trying to get you to have short hair. They're trying to get you to be dressed like a boy. They want to be the passenger princess. They're going to try to quit their job. As soon as you get a job, they're going to try to quit their job. Okay? They have an agenda. I found the more I resisted the agenda with these different people that I was with that were dusty and possibly on the down low, we don't know, they would try to undermine me because they knew that I would not go for direct things. But see, they were sneaky. They were sneaky like girls. They did things that girls do when you're in school, when you're jealous of another girl. Because they knew if they did anything direct, I would just say no. And they became more and more controlling because they could not control me. I would not go for anything they were trying to do. So they would do a lot of gossiping. They would do a lot of sneaky things. They would slowly try to eat away at my self-esteem, and I wouldn't let them do that. I'd say, what's the real reason you're saying this to me? And they would just get all upset, like, oh no, she's figuring it out. She's not the dumb blonde I thought she was, and they would get mad, but they would act bitchy like a girl, and I'm just like, okay, I don't think I'm dealing with a real man here. And I'm sorry to put it that way, but dusties are like this, DLs are like this, okay? You have to, the only thing you can do, you can't fight it with confronting them, and you can't fight it with resisting them. You can't turn them into something they're not. You can't turn people into something they're not, okay? You can't stick up for yourself and force them to do the right thing. The only thing you can do is leave. All right? And they are narcissists. Okay? And the thing people don't understand about narcissists is narcissists hate themselves. All right? If they liked themselves, they would be outwardly gay. They would be a proud gay person. And if you're gay, you should be proud of it. You shouldn't be hiding it. You should not be using people. All right? You should be proud of what you are. You should be proud of what God made you. You should not be fighting the person you're in a relationship with. Trying to hurt that person's feelings all the time. Trying to make them feel less than. Trying to turn them into something they're not. Because you can't deal with what you are. Okay? So that's all I have to say about that. And just know the DL person will try to undermine you. All right? The Dusty will try to undermine you. They're all bozos. They're all narcissists. Okay? You cannot win being with a DL person. The only thing you could do is look for the clues and get away. There's no other thing to do. All right? Unless you want to be in a lavender marriage and agree that you're just roommates. That's the only thing you can do. But they are narcissists, so why would you want to live with a narcissist? They're not going to admit they're gay. They can't, they don't like themselves. Okay? Real gay people that are proud, cool. Those people are great. These people, nobody wins. Okay? So I hope that explained DL and that they are a form of narcissist, and I will see you in the next content. I love you all. Bye-bye.